Lesson 54, rate word problems. And they are great rate word problems. So here's some examples of what rates are. So rate examples would be like miles per hour. That's a rate. Dollars per pound. That's another rate. Cents per ounce. Dollars per hour, which is what Sky charges $50 per hour to clean. Which is a great rate. Okay. You solve rate problems just like ratio box problems, but you just label the boxes a little differently. So we're going to write that down in a sentence.
Why does Z have a slash through it?
A Z has a slice through it because when I was a kid, I learned in my science and math classes that that's how scientists and mathematicians wrote their Z's, to not get confused with the number 2. And I noticed that I was always getting confused between my number 2 and my Z, so I started putting a slice through it, and now I never get them confused.
What if you just know your Z's and twos? Do you have to do a slice?
I always recommend it just because it helps so much for teachers and for yourself later, and yeah, I don't know. I recommend slashing your Z's.
I don't do the twos. I do the twos with the circle in it.
Yeah, and I switch back and forth between my 2's with the loop and my 2's that look like a Z, so I don't know why. That's just, I don't have a pattern on my 2's. So I slice my Z's just like the scientists do, plus I want to be a mathematician, and I knew math, and it looks fancy. It's true. Okay, so you do a box just like the ratio boxes. We put rate on the left column, actual measure. So it's no longer a count, it's a measure. So like miles or hours, dollars, ounces, pounds. Then we title the rate of category 1 and the rate for category 2. Cat, but it's really category. Okay. You rate categories. Rate categories. So the categories here may be miles, gallons, hours, etc. So your rate categories Okay, so we're going to do an example of a rate word problem. We have 8 ounces of a solution, and it's 40 cents for that 8 ounces. How much is 32 ounces? Now, again, this is one that you could probably figure out super easy on your own, but we're going to show you how to set up the box, because I want you to be setting up boxes to help you get in the practice. I have seen them drawn like this, where you don't have to draw the whole box, but you still label rate. Actual measure, we're just going to do AM. Like that? Yeah.
I put the titles in a box.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy cow, yeah. That's too much drawing for me. Okay. Then we look at our categories, and we have ounces and cents. So we're going to put ounces and cents. So we have the actual rate is 8 for 40 cents. Oh, whoops. Yes, that's right. And then the actual measure is 32 ounces. So I'm going to come and put that in my ounces spot. And then we want to know X. So we can pull out the plus sign or pull out the vertical line, put it equals between. 8 divided by 40 equals 32x. And we can cross multiply and divide, or we can figure out what factor we are using to multiply by. So 8 times 4 is 32. So if we do 40 times 4, we'll get what x is. So it would be 1. Oops, that should be a 4. Good job for finding my mistake. Now I just have to find my white. Here it is. Okie doke. So 160 cents for 32 ounces. Now, do we write cents this way? No, we'd have to change it to $1.60, and that would be your answer. There is a different method than setting up a ratio box or a rate box, and it's called, we're going to just call it a different rate method. Yes, you do. Rate method. Just a minute, please. Blah, blah. I can't read what's on my paper here. Let's call it rate method. Okay. If we have 32 ounces, this is basically using a unit multiplier. We're timesing it by our rate with ounces in the denominator. So we can cancel. So it's 8 ounces for 40 cents. So this is called, with the unit multiplier, and we get rid of the one we have to change it to the other one. Yeah.
What about the 0 1? I get confused.
Oh, that's an ounce. OZ.
And I put the Z in the 2, and I'll get confused with the 0.
It doesn't for me because I'll make sure that my O's are bigger. I mean, my zeros bigger than my. I've never gotten confused from it, so I don't know. Make sure your O's are bigger than your. No, your. Never mind. Make sure your zeros are bigger than your O's, and then you won't get confused.
I never get confused.
Then we can cancel the ounces and go ahead and reduce by canceling, and we get 4 times 40 cents, which is still 160 cents or $1.60. So that's using unit multiplier, which is a different method. Oh, that's what that was. That's a 4 right there, because I did the exact same thing. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Lesson's over.